If you're new here, please raise your hand. Let me see who's new here. Okay, we have a bunch of new people. Okay, I'll keep it short. So if you're new here, we do these events every month. You're not new, I know you. We do these events every month. We've been doing these events for the past year, different speakers, but the same mission. It's one mission. And the mission is to preserve Montreal's most valuable asset, which is, who can guess? Huh? What else? Very close. Not poutine. No, not poutine. It's people. It's people. It's people. Our most valuable asset, guys, is our talent. And the problem is, I moved here in 2016. I met a lot of smart people, very creative people. Saeem is one of them. But the problem is, I've seen them move to other cities one by one: San Francisco, New York, Boston. And the reason is, it's because they don't think they can make it here. They don't think they can build their dreams here. And that's fair. Sometimes, it's very hard to believe in something that you can't see. And people don't see the success in Montreal enough. And this is because Montreal does not celebrate its success stories enough. So what ends up happening is people leave, we lose talent, we lose momentum, we lose investors, and it makes it very, very hard for the next person who's trying to start something new here to actually start it. So the reason why Table Ronde exists is to flip the narrative, to flip the script. We want people to say, I want to stay in Montreal, I want to build in Montreal, I want to grow in Montreal. And for this to happen, we have to start fixing the source, the core problem, which is celebrating our success stories. Does this make sense? Yes. So thank you for being here, and thank you for joining me in celebrating tonight's success story, Miss Magaly Charbonneau.
Oh, okay.
All right. So for those of you who don't know Magaly, you started as a operator, as an executive with the famous password manager application, PasswordBox.
I started with hostopia.com first, and then my second startup was PasswordBox.
PasswordBox. You were the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, and then the company exited 2 years after its launch. You sold to Intel.
Yep.
And after selling to Intel, you joined Intel for 2 years, and eventually you left Intel and you joined Inovia as an investor. And for those of you who don't know Inovia, I think everyone knows Inovia here. But for those of you who don't know Inovia, Inovia is one of the biggest venture capital firms in Canada. They have more than 2.5 billion like a B like baby, $2.5 billion in assets under management.
And that's US.
That's US. That's like
a lot more.
That's like $2 trillion. That's like $7 trillion CAD. You have more than 424 total investments, 79 lead investments. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good, guys. So far, so good. And you are a partner at Inovia. You sit on the board of 6 startups. Some of them are huge startups. I don't want to name drop because we have to drop the video, so you can check them out later. But you serve on the board of 6 of these startups. You are also on the board of the Canadian Venture Capital and Private Equity Association, which is the CVCA. And you are an associate at one of Canada's largest accelerator, Creative Destruction Lab. So my first question is, do you sleep?
I do at least 8 hours a night.
8 hours. So PasswordBox, you were the COO of PasswordBox. So tell me, what was your role exactly and how did you get involved with them?
Okay, so I got involved with PasswordBox because when I was building Ostopia, which was my first startup, and that lasted about 9 years in the dot-com era, I tried to buy this company called Virtual Paper, which was owned by Dan Robichaud. And we did a partnership, we started getting to know each other, and we became friends. When we finally exited, did an IPO, and got acquired, I stayed in touch with him, and he called me, and he said, I'm starting a company called Forever Alive. I'd love to have you as an operator, manage all of finance, marketing, sales, go-to-market, etc. And he pitched me the idea. And that's how I got involved with Forever Alive was the first name of PasswordBox.
Forever Alive.
Yeah, it was the name of a feature within the password manager. And as we A/B tested that, the go-to-market was, we're going to convince people to put their digital assets into this box, and they'll have a way to bequeath all of their digital online accounts to their heirs. And when we A/B tested that model, it just didn't work. People were not biting. And so we started talking to a bunch of people in Silicon Valley, and people that back then people were starting Dropbox and Evernote and DocuSign, and we're hanging out with all these people. And the guy, one of the executives at Dropbox, said to us, you should go with a feature that people need more. And so what we realized is that people were maybe wanting to bequeath their assets eventually, but what they really needed in the short term was to manage their passwords and keep them really safe. And so we pivoted, and we named the company PasswordBox.
All of this happened in 2 years, and then you exited to
But so that Forever Alive to PasswordBox was like right before that was Dan A/B testing his model and talking to Marc-Antoine, the co-founder. And then I got in and invested in the company and became COO in January of 2012. And then we exited in 2014.
And
24
how
months
was
later.
the acquisition like? You told me that it's a dear story that you hold
Yeah.
dear to your heart.
Yeah. So the path to deciding to sell, that was not what we decided at first. We wanted to build the Dropbox of passwords. And as we were building the company, we actually won the Consumer Electronics Show Application of the Year. And from that moment, we had a lot of inbound interest for acquisition, and we were not interested. But the reason why we said yes to Intel was because we were trying to get to 100 million of users as soon as possible. And the way that Intel pitched us their strategy was to embed us into McAfee security suite of product. So if you you'd have an antivirus McAfee installed on your computer, they wanted PasswordBox to be embedded in this. And for them, it was a way to make the antivirus solution more sticky. Because when you download an antivirus, you never go back, and you don't even remember a year later that you're paying McAfee. You might be paying AVG and you don't even remember. They had a strategy to make the antivirus, and by the way, McAfee was owned by Intel. It was one of their divisions. They had purchased it from McAfee, Pat McAfee, that is dead today, and that's another story. My colleagues knew him. Back to why we decided to sell was they had promised to get us into McAfee, and they had OEM deals with Dell, Lenovo, and HP, and I had been trying to sign deals with Dell, Lenovo, and HP to be pre-installed on the computer to have a faster distribution.
Okay.
And that was extremely difficult. It was really, really hard to do these types of deals. So it made a lot of sense for us to have a partner like Intel, McAfee, to get embedded into that suite, and we would get to what we wanted, which was to get to hundreds of millions of users as soon as possible.
Was this always a part of the exit strategy? Like, was it as soon as you started selling with PasswordBox that you realize that, okay, maybe potentially we need a partner to help us exit and have access to all these features?
Yeah, we were always trying to get partners to get to distribution faster. And there were all kinds of different OEM deals that we tried to do. And trying to do users one by one, it was extremely costly. Marketing dollars was costly. And what we really liked about Intel McAfee is, number one, their strategy made a lot of sense. They had also announced that they were going to eliminate passwords at the chip level.
So, chip level?
Yeah.
What does
So
that mean?
biometrics. So the chip in the computers would have biometrics, and you would log in with your eyes, with your finger, etc. So we were scared that our solution would become obsolete. At the same time, Apple and Google had come up with a way to manage password within the browser. So we were now competing with the three giants that were trying to solve the password problem. So we had to evaluate for our shareholders, what are the risks here if we decide not to get acquired by Intel and be part of the McAfee suite of security suite? How many more rounds are we going to have to do? How much is that going to cost? What's the dilution every single time we raise a round? If you calculate between 20 and 25% every time, you do the math. And what they were offering us was like a lottery ticket. We had 7 patents, and our growth was unbelievable. And Intel really wanted to solve the password problem, and they were going at it with biometrics. So the decision was, it better for us to do that. And so the only thing that they did, because I still use PasswordBox every single day, multiple times a day, it's called TrueKey. They wanted to change the name because it fit better with the branding that they were looking for. But TrueKey today is exactly what we built. And it's part of the McAfee security, and it's in every single Lenovo computer pre-installed. And so the strategy worked, and it was really a dream of ours for hundreds of millions of users to be using this technology. And the partnership was exceptional. They kept their word. Everything they promised happened. It wasn't easy for the technical team. Of course, there were things that wasn't perfect, but they delivered on everything that they promised. The acquisition and the negotiations were hard, but we ended up getting everything we wanted. I worked for Intel McAfee for 3 years after that, and we at the end of the day we're happy with our decision to be acquired.
Okay. For the entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs in the crowd tonight, who's an entrepreneur tonight? Raise your hand. Let me see you. Higher, 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 guys. Come on. Okay. We have a lot of entrepreneurs. For the entrepreneurs that are with us tonight, what's one piece of advice based on your experience with PasswordBox, based on this chapter only? Don't cheat. Based on PasswordBox experience only, what's one piece of advice that you give to them?
If they're building a startup
Yes.
in tech.
Yes.
So the one thing that we did really well with PasswordBox, let's say I compare it to my first startup, it was to be data-driven first. It's all about the data. The story is the story, but the data tells the story. If you have the metrics and the data, and what I mean by that is the behavior of the user. For example, there's 1,000 users signing up on day one. Month number 2, out of those 1,000 users, there's X that are signing up. Day number 2, month number 2, out of those that sign up, there's X that are paying. And then after they pay, there's that many assets in the box. Month 3, they click on this, they click on that. All of that data and the metrics, the core metrics of the product, it tells the story. If the data is there and the volume is there and the user behavior, and then they pay and then they use it multiple times a day, you don't even need to tell a story. Any VC is going to want to back your business. The data is the most important thing to me, and this is what we did really well, because I'm sure everybody here has read The Lean Startup, and this is what it explains: how to build a product by staying extremely capital efficient and iterating and testing, and you're building and you're testing, and then the data tells you if what you just built, the user wants it. Is that feature needed? If it's not, you kill it, and you only build what the user needs and is willing to pay for. And if you let the data drive your business decisions, you're gonna have a much higher chance of having a successful start.
So what about having a clear exit strategy once you build your startup? And how far in your journey, in your startup journey, should you have this exit strategy?
Yeah, like on day one, you don't have to think about your exit strategy. What was in mind for us from the first day that we were building this company was to make sure that it was the best possible product, and that growth was there, and that the go-to-market was there. And if you keep thinking about the best possible product backed by the best team, and growth is there, you don't need to be searching very far for an exit strategy. Everybody's going to want to buy your product. So yeah, you can. And I ask that all the time when I meet entrepreneurs: what kind of exit are you thinking? But not when it's super early. There's so many things to resolve and so many things to get right when you're starting. Yeah, you should absolutely think about who could buy this one day. But the focus early on should be to be the best in your category.
Right. Okay, makes sense. Focus on your craft before you sell it. Makes sense. All right. After this chapter, you joined Inovia. So my first question is, why did you turn from being an executive, successful at the time, with a track record of an exit? Why did you turn from being an executive slash operator to an investor?
So I never planned on being an investor. So Chris Arsenault, the founder of Inovia Capital, he called me and he said, "I'd like to meet you." And so I went to the meet. I knew everybody knew Chris at Inovia, and I knew Inovia, and we had pitched to Inovia for when we did our fundraise. And so Chris asked me what I was doing after we exited to Intel. And I said, "Look, I really want to work for this iconic business in Silicon Valley, and it's really important to me. But maybe I'll be interested in joining the other side of the fence, but not right now." So he offered me a job on the investment committee, and he asked me if I was interested in investing in Inovia Fund 2015. I thought that was a good idea because I could then test and see if I like this, if I like the team there, etc. So in 2015, I joined Inovia's investment committee, and I invested in Inovia as an LP in Fund 2015. And for 3 years, I got to know how they were thinking about things, how the investment world worked. I had raised a few rounds as a tech operator and an investor, but I was far from having the profile of being a great investor. Yeah. So at first, I wanted to understand the firm and the people and the culture and their values. And over those 3 years, I found out that they were an exceptional team.
Why?
Great human beings.
Why?
Well, one of the most important things for me is aligning human values with mine. And what I found out with Chris's vision and Chris's leadership and how he was surrounding himself with people that would be my friends. Trustworthy, humility, transparency, people that are vulnerable and honest and loyal. And that was really important to me. I only would start a business with people that had the same core values as mine. And so that was the first thing I evaluated. And to do my due diligence on them, I called everybody I knew that had done business with them. And every single person said good things about every single partner that was in that firm. So that was important to me.
In terms of their investment thesis back then, I know it evolves. Was this a big part of your decision making to see what they invest in and whether you are interested in investing in these verticals or sectors or whatever?
Yeah, so one of the reasons Chris approached me, because I didn't it's not like I had a master's in finance. He approached me because he wanted a tech operator. And Inovia invests in companies that the types of businesses that I built. So that was the profile that he was looking for. And Inovia is a tech investor. They invest in vertical SaaS businesses, tech-enabled e-com, and all of the sectors that I felt really familiar with and I had expertise in. So that was definitely aligned. And I joined in 2017 after McAfee got sold to a large PE fund, and then they gave us the opportunity to move to Texas or get a package. And I did not move to Texas. I took the opportunity with Inovia and became an investor full time.
So let's talk about Inovia today. What are some of the verticals, the core verticals that you guys invest in?
So first of all, we're a tech investor and we like vertical SaaS software. We like software only, vertical SaaS, generative AI. We like the types of sectors that we have expertise in are travel and hospitality, cybersecurity, future of work, e-commerce, digital health, just to name a few. And the most important thing for us, and you're going to hear that the entire time I'm going to talk, is people. So we're a people first investor. We like to invest in people that we trust, in people that we have gotten to know each other, to know before, that has been referred to. We like to call it in network. It comes from an investor that we know. It's a CEO that we have backed before, and it's referred by him or her. This is really how we like to finance.
So if you were to put a weight on the founder and the business, let's say over 100, would you say it's especially in the early stage, and when an early stage startup comes to pitch to Inovia, given that you say that you're very people focused, right? You have the business and you have the person, the founder who's pitching to Inovia. On a scale, let's say over 100, if you were to put two weights, one on the founder and one on the business, would you say, is it fair to say that 60% of the decision making comes from the founder and 40 from the business, or is it split otherwise?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Everything is important. So the trusting relationship with the team is extremely important. I don't know if I can put a percentage on it, but then there is so much more that we evaluate. We like to invest in, of course, a founding team that we trust. But if the founding team that we trust is decided to start to build a product that we think is going to be obsolete in 2 years, we're not going to invest in that business. There's so many criteria, and there's a big process that goes on for every single decision that we make. At Inovia, we see on average 1,500 deals per year, talking the entire team, and we only pick a few. So there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of teams that we meet. There's a lot of concepts, visions, products that we hear about, and the more that you see, the more that we sort of fine tune our criterias and become better at choosing also. But I would say that everything is important. It's not just one thing.
I'm trying to do the math in my head. What's 1,500 divided by 48 to see how many deals you see per week approximately?
So many, but it's not just me. Like I have a big team, and my partner in Toronto has a team, and they see companies. Every Monday we meet, and everybody discusses all of the deals that they saw. And then we discuss, is this one that we should take a little further, for example. And then, of course, the ones that we bring up are on thesis. It's a team that we've decided that it fits with the trusting in network, etc. And then it depends on the portfolio also. So if we've started deploying, 3 years ago, and this is our last year of deployment, and we only have 3 deals left to do because we're fundraising our next fund, then the criteria get very, 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 very tight.
Magaly, if you were to craft the perfect, the ideal founder profile, if you were to give me 3 traits for this founder to have, for it to be a no-brainer, like absolutely, just take my money.
Yeah.
What would these traits, these 3 traits would be?
Trustworthy.
That's number 1.
Number 1, it's all about trust. I mean, we're spending a decade with these people. You have to get along and you have to trust them. If not, your life as a partner or as a principal or a team member is a nightmare. You have to go back to your LPs. You have to explain why the relationship is not working. You have to explain why you're not refinancing this company. And then your LP doesn't like that. Is your LP gonna fund your next fund? It's a total nightmare if there's no trust with the entrepreneur that you're funding.
Second trait.
A growth mindset. We want to invest in companies where the founder is going to have a global vision, like one of the vision is to be a global company.
And third?
There's just so many more. You're making me choose on just one more.
Maybe works at EY.
I mean, I said trustworthy. Transparency is extremely important. My favorite, we try to invest in every single team, transparency, etc. But I love it when an entrepreneur will call me, and the first call they make when something goes really bad, and says, I just lost a huge deal. We lost it at the competition. Here's what we did wrong. Just wanted to tell you about it. You know what? This is great. Let's make sure we discuss it at the board with the other investors, and we'll try to get better next time. That's like full-on transparency, and investors love that.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Why are you surprised?
I'm surprised because maybe sometimes you want to fix the problem before you raise it to your VC.
No, you want to be 100% transparent with your investors. And the more you are, the more they'll back you. The more they'll be there for you because there's no surprises. And by the way, we always find out. It's like your kid try to hide something from you. The parents always find out what they lied about.
So Magaly, you probably see dozens. You do see people pitching to you every week. All the time. Has anyone ever pitched to a VC in the room? Come on, hire guys. Why are you ashamed?
Well, we have experts here.
How was your experience, man?
Pitching to a VC?
Pitching to a VC. Where's Tom? 1 second, don't answer. We have the mics. I want to make sure I capture it. Okay, how was your experience?
At first, it was the first ones were stressful. I actually pitched to one of the Inovia team member. I'm not good with this. I had it right there because I had the email of Alexis Gardneau.
Oh yeah, I work with that.
And so yeah, basically it was stressful at first, but as you get to pitch, I found out that it's like finding the perfect person for you. Like
Yes.
a lot of people is gonna say no,
Yeah.
and then at first you're like, does my project we have clients, we have traction. Are we not seeing something that the VC sees?
Okay.
But by the way, can I just say, you have to do your due dil on your investor as much as I'm doing my due dil on you. It's really important.
No, totally.
Alex is really nice, by the way.
Yeah, no, sure. Yeah,
Was he nice?
Yeah, it was nice, like super great, super nice guy.
Who else pitched to a VC?
Couple of Angel from Ange Quebec as well.
And in 2 words, how was your experience?
Very nice. I think the first thing I'm looking for when I pitch is feedbacks from them because they have experience,
Yeah.
they have knowledge I don't have, and they have another vision of what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
that's fair.
That's good.
So Magali, what's your advice to founders who want to pitch to a VC? How to pitch to a VC?
Yeah.
Oh wait, before when to pitch to a VC?
So at Inovia, we like to get to know entrepreneurs, as I said before, early on because we like to get to know them. So when you're not raising capital, is a great idea to call a VC and to just talk to them about what you're doing and ask for feedback and find out about our criteria. We cannot meet everybody that contacts us. We want to make sure that it fits into what we actually do. So don't get discouraged if you contact, let's say you contact a general VC like us, but you're doing something in medical tech. Well, of course, I'm going to say, I'm not going to take the meeting to talk to you because we don't do medical tech. So make sure that the VCs that you contact actually finance what you're building. So sometimes if you're in medical tech or hardware, there are VCs that only do that. Those are the perfect VCs to contact. So if you're a vertical SaaS business, we'll be happy to take a meeting when you're not raising. And then we listen to what you're doing and we'll give you feedback, etc. And then we'll meet you again in 3 months and we'll meet you again in 3 months. And that's when you find out if this is a good fit or not. So that's really a good timing. What to talk to I think it's a great thing that the gentleman there said, like to get feedback. One thing that I really want to hear is, why now? Why is the problem that you're trying to solve today is a good timing now? I really want to hear about that. I want to hear why you're the best person to do that. Because the first thing that we'll do when you leave, if we think you're building a great product or the product is a great timing, we're going to look at the other people doing that. And if we think that the other folks doing that, there's a better founder market fit, then we might finance that one. So it's really important that you're able to explain, why am I the best person to solve that problem, and why, like, we need to understand why we should back you. I like when it's a clear vision and it's easy to understand. Don't make it all complicated. Make it easy to understand. Talk about who the customer is and why is the customer going to pay for a product like that. We want to understand what was the SMB or large enterprise using before using that product that you're now innovating, and why are they changing their behavior and now using your technology. And I'll want to understand, how complicated will that be for that customer to now change their behavior completely and use this tech? Is it going to take months and months to sell this? So really explain well all of that. I made some notes here because I didn't want to forget. Obviously, I talked about it when I told you about PasswordBox and why we did a great job building it. Please talk about what the data says, and not just what you're thinking or what your vision is, but what the data that you've been testing is saying. That's really, really important.
Okay. So process-wise, before we move on to the most exciting part of the event, where we'll see Cedric eating some people. I'm joking. All right. For those who plan to pitch to a VC and would like to have an idea on the process or the timeline, what does the process look like from the moment they meet with you up until the moment you sign a check? What's the process like and how long does it take?
So it depends if we're talking about Inovia Invest is a full stack investor. So we invest in pre-seed, seed A, all the way to IPO. So obviously, if you're raising $50 million Series E, the process is longer than if you come to see us and you're at the pre-seed level. I'm going to talk about like a seed or A. If we have known each other, if you're knocking on the door and we've never met before, this is a sort of different, but let's assume that you came to see us when you were not raising, where we've got to know you and you're now ready for your seed round. From the moment that we start the process, so I like what I'm seeing, I'm bringing it to the team on Monday. On Monday afternoon, you get a call. I've got team excitement, would like to bring you to a pitch, but we need a week of due deal before bringing you to a partner pitch. And then we'll ask you a lot of questions and a data room. If you don't have a data room, we'll ask you a lot of documents, whether it's projections or product roadmap or competitive landscape, etc. We'll want to meet with your technical team. We want to understand who's the team behind the CEO. And then you'll come to a partner pitch the following week. And if usually when you're invited to a partner pitch, everybody's sort of excited about this. We're not going to bring you to a partner pitch and shut it all down and you've wasted your time.
Are we like in week 2?
Pardon me?
We're like in week 2 now with the partner
We're in
pitch.
week 2.
Week 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about a seed.
Seed, yes, seed.
And then after the partner pitch, and we'll probably give you a term sheet within a couple of days. It's like a 2-pager. And then after that, we'll start legal, and legal usually takes 4 weeks.
So overall, 6 to 8 weeks, so 2 months.
Yeah. Well, it could be a little bit faster, but there's a lot of deals in the funnel. Sometimes it's just that we have other things.
Yeah.
A couple months.
So technically you should start approaching investors 3 months ahead or 4 months ahead.
A year ahead.
A year ahead.
Well, if we've known you for a long time, maybe 6 months ahead.
But if you're fresh new, like no one knows you.
Yeah.
A year ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Because we like to get to know the entrepreneurs and the team, and we like to see what they're saying. We like to see, okay, day one, I meet you, and then you're telling me that you'll be at 500,000 of ARR by next month. Well, I want to see if it happened. And then I want to see what else that you said was going to happen for the month 2, month 3. And if everything you're saying is going to happen, and I've been meeting you every 6 weeks for 6 months, then we're really leaning into this.
Okay. All right. So, guys, we did enough talking. Now it's on to you. Not questions yet, pitches. Who's an entrepreneur again? Raise your hand. Let me see you. Higher. I saw more hands. Come on, guys. Okay. I'm going to start choosing people to pitch to Magaly. You have 1 minute to pitch your idea and you'll get live feedback.
Oh my God, 1 minute? That's not a lot. I usually
Only
give
1 minute.
1 hour.
1 minute, guys. You're in the elevator with Magaly and she has $1 million in her
We're in
pocket.
an elevator? Okay.
All right. Who wants to
We're on
pitch?
the 25th floor. We're going to HOC.
You want to pitch? Where's Tom? Oh, Tom is here. Wait, make sure the camera... Okay, stay where you're at. I'll give you my microphone. Don't move. Don't move.
So we are creating an AI-powered software to reduce the amount of time that it takes an ESG analyst to conduct even just one ESG analysis from hours down to minutes. I don't know if that's a minute or...
So if you were in front of me at Inovia, the first thing I would ask you is this a functionality that could be embedded into Novisto?
So from what I understand, Novisto is an... Sorry.
I'll hold it, don't worry.
Okay, from what I understand, Novisto is an ESG reporting tool. So it gathers the data to facilitate ESG reports for companies. But on the other side of the ESG industry is the analysis that goes into analyzing those reports. And so we are basically offering a solution for the other side. So the Novisto is on one side of ESG, we are on the other side of ESG. Yeah.
Thanks.
Next. So this guy I like him.
What do I take? Just
It is echoing. I can hear my ugly voice.
All right.
Hate my voice.
Speak, you want to try? Say test.
Bonjour. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. All right, so I'm ProInvest. We're an AI company solving hockey's biggest problem. 80% of fans multitask during games, and we know that 61% of broadcast time is dead air. So that leaves us just over 154 hours per season of wasted time. But as a fan, the biggest problem is loyalty programs. Fans have no way to engage with the team beyond game day, whether you're in rink, at home, or abroad. So we built the first AI platform that engages fans in real time and that monetizes fans with a long-term loyalty program. It's not the 2-3 year life cycle loyalty programs. We're innovating, changing it to 30 to 40 years. And so the key differentiator here is that teams actually own and operate their platform. It's first-party fan data that external platforms, your gambling platforms, your fantasy platforms, your current team apps are having, but that teams don't have any leverage behind it and can't do anything. So we're targeting the $5.1 billion sports tech market. And we've currently built the complete enterprise demo platform. We're still missing some AI add-ons to it, but we're targeting demos and pilots for NHL teams starting January 2026.
Okay.
What do you think?
Why are you the right person to solve that problem? What's your expertise in that sector?
So I played from single A all the way to triple A hockey in Toronto. I coached starting 15. I'm now 23. I've coached every single year since I'm 15. When I was 16, 17, 18, coached double A, triple A, and junior A. What else? Well, my hockey dreams ended early. I mean, I got injured, just like a lot of kids, and cross-check from behind, you rip your thumb open, and that's it, right? So ever since, I attended U of T Rotman, HEC Montreal, and I've pursued my hockey dream. Just not the player or manager or any typical way, the founder way, the hard way.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'm a big sports hockey fan, and I love all sports. And so I'm interested in finding out more.
Thank you.
Remember, man, remember.
I'll remember you.
All right, who's next, guys? Who wants to pitch? Yeah, this guy. Taif. Taif from Bangladesh. Stay where you're at.
So software developers often are, okay, starting over. Software developers often are not writing code. Okay, this echo is like, are not often not writing code. Instead, they're spending approximately 20% of their week, so which is a whole work day, finding context for their code base. So that means deciphering their old code base, digging through outdated documentation, or spending hours in knowledge transfer meetings. For an average team of 15 developers in a tech company, this can cost the company more than $1 million a year in wasted productivity. That's why we're building Foliable. It's an AI-powered tool to automatically generate documentation for your code base and keep the docs automatically updated as the underlying code changes. As well, it comes with an AI assistant that can help you find answers in seconds instead of hours. So devs who use Foliable can gain their day back and go back to building. And as a result, companies can not only boost productivity, but also save millions in the process. And we're looking for tech companies to join our beta program so we can get their feedback and make the best tool that we can for you. That's it.
Okay, that was fast.
A minute, yeah.
It's really hard to pitch in 1 minute. Are you raising right now?
No, we're bootstrapping, but we're open to any offers.
How much are you going to sell that solution for?
We're thinking at the moment $50 per seat per person at the company per month.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taif. Next, Miss.
I made eye contact with you. That's
Yes, you won.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Lynn Sock, and I'm the co-founder of Oni. We are the Tinder of home buying, and we offer a platform, don't laugh, we offer a platform that helps people find a partner to invest in real estate. So what is the problem we're trying to solve? I mean, we've all heard of it. Buying a house, it's becoming harder and harder. Investing in real estate, something that was supposed to be the Canadian and American dream, even harder. This solution will help people collaborate in order to increase their buying power as well as lower costs. Why are we the best person to solve this? I have 20 years experience as a financial advisor entrepreneur. I own my own financial services firm. I was a mortgage broker for 5 years as well. I also run a community called Women and Money Montreal, where I teach financial literacy weekly. And the very idea came from my community and the clients that I serve. So this platform is targeted for the everyday person who might not necessarily know how to find a partner, but we all need to secure a roof over our heads. You know, we all work hard, we do the right thing, and it's kind of sad as a mortgage broker to tell someone, hey, you know, you have good credit, you have good income, good down payment, but you can only afford a $200,000 condo. Anybody here have a house, own a home? So you've been through a mortgage pre-approval? It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. It's not easy to go through one. On average, 75% of mortgage pre-approvals do not convert into a purchase. It's really sad. And it's a big target market. It's a big available market on top of everything else that's available. So please follow me on LinkedIn, LINSOK, and feel free to ask questions later.
So what's the price? Like how's the pricing model?
How do we generate revenue? So we are going to start off, you talked about data. We're starting off by being a lead generator for mortgage brokers and real estate brokers, because I'm in the industry. I know what the average referral rate is. It's basically 28 to 32 basis points of 1% commission, right? So generate our first million. We would need to close 1,000 transactions if the average mortgage is 400,000, which the average mortgage is higher than 400,000. So if you want to lowball it.
Mr. Tremblay.
You remember.
Of course, I remember everyone that attends.
Thanks. Je suis une Tremblay, fait que je vais pitcher en français si c'est OK. Elisabeth Tremblay, la fondatrice de Beta Labs. On est le Tinder des événements d'affaires. On développe une plateforme qui optimise le réseautage dans les événements d'affaires pour les compagnies qui participent aux événements. Le problème qu'on règle, c'est la difficulté à rencontrer les quelques bonnes personnes dans un événement qui permettent d'atteindre des objectifs d'affaires et de rentabiliser le coût du billet. Donc, on mise sur la pertinence et la qualité des rencontres pour améliorer l'expérience événementielle du participant et maximiser les retombées pour l'entreprise qui l'envoie. Et on est le partenaire match-up officiel de Startup Fest. Donc, les investisseurs vont recevoir un courriel demain pour s'inscrire si vous voulez interagir avec Beta Labs. Ça nous ferait plaisir de vous matcher en juillet.
Mais je vais être à Startup Fest, alors j'ai hâte de voir ça. Puis, peux-tu m'expliquer la complexité de la technologie que tu as bâtie?
Oui, la complexité chez Beta Labs est aussi dans le modèle d'affaires qu'on développe, fait que je vais l'adresser. En fait, on part des objectifs du client, puis on analyse les plateformes événementielles comme Swapcard, B2B2Go, les listes d'événements, puis on bonifie notre recherche avec des données de sources externes, Crunchbase, site Internet dans les LLM pour sortir les meilleures opportunités pour le client. L'innovation dans le modèle d'affaires, c'est dans la manière dont on se positionne. Il existe, je dirais pas mais peu de solutions qui targetent l'entreprise qui participe à l'événement. La plupart développent des plateformes de gestion tout en un qui vendent à l'organisateur de l'événement. Merci.
Thank you. One more. It's gonna kill me. He's been looking at me with his broken leg. Poor him.
Do I have to stand?
Yeah, you have to stand now. No.
So, first of all, we're not the Tinder of anything. We're the Quick of sports. And first of all, I want to ask you a question. Do you work out?
I do.
Okay.
Why?
Are you on social media?
Yes.
Okay. So how many times do people wish they could join you on your workouts, or you see your friends working out and you'd be like, I wish I was there. I wish I could join. Does it happen to you?
Well, I am a Peloton member. And so there's always people on Peloton.
Awesome. So you have good response to community and encouragement. Perfect. So with Quick, we're building the first platform of its kind where you're never going to miss a session because you're going to see who's going out of your friends. And whether it's a marathon, whether it's a yoga session or a class or a Peloton or a cycling class, or even if you're going to the park to play Frisbee, You're going to post your event on a new kind of social media, and you're going to invite whoever you want. And the more you engage with the app, the more kiwis you're going to collect that you can exchange for discounts and rewards at partners such as smoothie shops, cafes, apparel brands, whatever you can think of. Lululemon, if you're a fan, I don't know.
Tell me how you're going to build a massive business with that model.
So we're halfway through. I have the application on my phone already. If you'd like to check it out afterwards, I'd be happy to give you a demo and answer all your questions. My pitch deck is ready. My revenue streams are all studied, so we can discuss that if you want. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Right. Thank you.
That was fun.
Yes, yes. Round of applause, please. So, Magaly, if you were to go back in time, or even today, if you have, let's say, the appetite to go back and build a company, is there a specific problem that's due to you that you'd like to solve today? Build the company around it, bring a team, solve it, make a lot of money?
There's with the AI innovation that we're in for the last few years, every single sector will be touched by AI. In the last few years, like 2.5 years, we've backed 50 AI companies and 50 AI companies from pre-seed all the way to growth stage. And I think it's an amazing time to start a company, and because every sector will be disrupted by AI, every single sector. And so I think it's a great time. You're asking me if I've one particular. I see so many great companies on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. I don't have a favorite one. What I really like personally, because this is my expertise, is vertical SaaS with AI helping as an element of the core technology.
Can you break it down in very simple terms? Sometimes we're stupid.
Like, for example, take this company that we backed last year called Gaia. They built an operating system, and the entire operating system to help tier 2, tier 3 ISPs and internet service providers and in the telecom space launch their businesses. So it's a complex software to build. It's not a wrapper on top of OpenAI that 100 people can do tomorrow morning in their living room, for example. So it's a complex operating system. There's AI in there to make it super powerful. I really like vertical SaaS solutions that are difficult to build, that takes a long time to build. There's defensibility there. Not everyone can just build it. And then the go-to-market strategy is complex. It's medium to large enterprise sales. I like that because this is sort of what I did for 25 years. As an investment partner, every partner has their expertise and has their the sector that they've spent a lot of time in, and so it gives you an edge. You can bring so much value to the entrepreneur when you're investing in sectors that you've invested before or been an operator before. So for me personally, if you ask me what I'm excited about, I continue to be excited about vertical SaaS, and I am very excited about cybersecurity. I'm excited about how AI can help companies be more powerful. But I'm excited about so many different things that AI is going to do in so many sectors. I don't have one particular.
So speaking of AI, I have a question for you. Given everything that's happening with ChatGPT, all this advanced AI that really surpasses my intelligence, do you think, or how do you think AI startups will be able to protect their IP, whatever they've been building for the past X years, when big tech, when big companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, DeepSeek in China, I'm just dropping names I know, can outcompete them. They
You
can,
name drop them.
yes,
Yeah, so this is,
outscale
we
them.
talk about that every week. Is technology a moat anymore? Is ChatGPT next version gonna disrupt what I'm building right now? So that's a very important question. As an investment team, one of the first things that we ask ourselves when we're evaluating a team, a product, an engineering team, and innovation is, okay, who can build this? How fast is someone else going to build this? And there's 5 others that are similar. What's the differentiation? So we wonder if the go-to-market and the speed to market and the speed to traction is now the moat.
The speed to traction maybe is the new moat.
Go-to-market and speed to getting to traction is now the moat, is some of the questions that we're asking each other.
But don't you think eventually big companies will catch up and they will wipe you out?
So, but your question was, is ChatGPT going to just do what everybody else is building? So it could, but that's why if we're investing in an AI company, it has to be complex. It cannot be just a wrapper on top of OpenAI. It has to be integrated into the workflow of, the company's
Yes.
workflow.
And this will be the new moat. It's how well it is integrated with other systems.
We don't really like to say, oh, there's a massive tech moat, or they have patents, because it's just so easy. Technology is easier to build. Not all. Some vertical SaaS technologies are much more complex than an AI application, for example. But the criteria that we look for is the workflow integration, and then the moat also becomes the go-to-market, the speed to market. Did they get to market? They got to market so fast because they had a different way of marketing this, or they had a smarter way of selling this, and the sales motion was exceptional. And the other competitors have as good of a tech, but the sales motion didn't work, or their pricing didn't work. So does the moat now become something else than the technology? Those are a lot of questions that we're asking
Exciting
each other.
questions.
Yeah, as a team, and how do we continue, fine-tuning our criterias and making sure we make good investment decisions.
So I want to wrap this up with one topic before we open it to the questions, to the audience for questions. There's a topic that's very dear to my heart, and it's one of the first topics I thought about when I reached out to you, when I told you about it. It's board members. Board members. There's a lot of maybe misconceptions on what the real role of a board member is, how to involve them, how often to meet with them, how big of the ask should be from them, and how to compensate them. So if we can talk about it for a few minutes, I would love that. So first of all, maybe we can start by what is the real role.
The role of a board member, when you're in a venture capital firm like I am at Inovia, we like to lead, so we will ask for a board seat in our investments. At the seed all the way to IPO, we want a board seat when we do the investment. You, as an investor in the firm, we're not comped. The independent board member will be comped, but not the venture capital representative will not be comped. My role as a board member is to bring value to the company. That's really my role. I want to be a partner to the CEO and the executive team. And the role of a board is extremely important. there's governance. We have to make sure we can get sued if there's the company goes bankrupt and we didn't verify things properly. It's a very important role. In early stage investing, you're there to really help the entrepreneur. So a lot happens in between the boards. There's usually 4 boards per year, as most of you know. Every quarter, where we will ask the leadership team to tell us about did we meet budget? Did we meet the revenue that we said we were going to have? Did we meet the milestones on product? How did we do on marketing? Like we want to find out about who did we hire, etc. But in between the board is when a lot of the value happens. For example, we'll have one-on-ones with the CEO where we're asking, hey, what can I do to help? Like, oh, I need help. I need to hire a couple engineers. Well, we at Inovia do a lot on the value side because we have a platform team. We have an operating partner layer under the investment partners. We have an HR person, PR and marketing head. We have a CTO office, we have an M&A office. And so all of that value is for free. And as soon as I do an investment, the leadership team will meet with every single platform member. So the CTO office is there to help you build an incredible engineering team and help you find talent in the engineering team. HR is there to help you find the best talent in your executive team. And of course, the partner participates in those, in helping the CEO and the leadership team. PR and marketing to help with the marketing strategy, and of course, the PR strategy. And M&A if they're at a stage where M&A makes sense, and we help identify targets, help them negotiate, etc. So there's a lot of value in between the boards.
How big should be the asks on board member?
Well, so I have CEOs that ask more than others. I think it's great at the end, like I have a company at the end of each board, there's a slide. This is what I need from you, board members, and all of the asks are on the last slide. And he follows up and, introductions, hiring.
How specific should it be? I'm really digging into the details because it's important for people and the audience to know. Like, is it just introduce me to people, or should I
No, you have to be specific. You can't just ask me to build your funnel for you. Like for example, last week, one of my portco said, look, we're targeting all these large enterprises in Canada. There's about 50 of them. If you don't mind to go over them, if there's like 3 or 4 that you can intro me to the CEO, that would be great. We turned it around in 48 hours. It was 7 intros that we could do for them. This is great. We love that. It's not too much, but you have to be specific. You can't just say, hey, can you introduce me to like random people that you have no idea what the ask is.
Sometimes
for independent board member that you're paying, you have to be really clear about the value that you want them to bring.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Just one second. Sometimes some companies bring people on their board for a specific need that they need in this specific stage that they're at with their company. And then eventually they outgrow their relevance. So how do you navigate that? Do you keep the person on the board? Do they part away from the board? Like, how do you navigate this?
Most of my boards have the early investor before me, the later investor, and then one independent. Okay. And usually the independent is a sector expert that is going to bring value in introductions for potential deals. It's usually how the board will be structured. So the most important thing for the executive team, if many of you will have boards, managing your board is really important. You should be close to your board. You should be transparent with your board. You should use your board to help you in your company. That's why the independent wants to be a board member, to give back. And the investors, they want, of course, they want to bring value and help. They want a good multiple on their investment. So everything should be aligned. But not everybody knows how to manage a board, and it's important to ask your investors, how do you want to do this? What do you have a sort of a template, or like how do you want me to deliver the results, etc. we do all that. We're a big firm, so we have all of those presentations already ready, and we give all of the guides. But sometimes you might get funded by a smaller fund, and they don't have those types of resources. It's important to have really good relationships with those investors, because they're going to reinvest in your company, and they're the ones that the new investor at the next round, the first people they call is the existing board members. So if you're not managing your current investors well, the chance that another investor comes in and wants to fund you, well, like, it'll be harder. I get calls all the time from previous companies that I.
One more question on that. How do you compensate independent board members?
Yeah, there's benchmarks. If you go on ChatGPT and ask, they'll give you benchmarks. It's usually 0.0 something to 0.1. Yeah, vesting over 3 years. Like it's like in the sector you're in, it's all over the internet. You can find. Yeah. So some will be harder. Like a superstar in the sector might ask 1% of your company, but I would never give 1%.
Too much 1%.
Too much money.
Magaly, if you were to go back in time to when you were 20 years old, so like that's like 2 years ago.
Like 5.
5 years ago. What's one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
I think that you're talking about business or in general?
Whatever.
Okay.
Just want to hear you speak.
Like, I think that the most important decision in a lifetime is your life partner and your business partner. And so this is what I'm telling my daughters all of the time. The most important decision that you will make in your life, and it's okay if you made a mistake. It's not the end. The end, you can make a better decision. But your life partner, because obviously, if you have an amazing life partner, he or she will support you in your business and will be great when you build, if you want to build a family. And it's the same thing in business. Align yourself with people that have the exact same human core values as you. It's the two most important things that I keep telling my kids.
I don't know what to say.
There you go.
Mic drop. All right, a few words before we open it to questions. Magaly, you're an investor, you're a board member, you're actively involved in the startup community. You take gambles, you take risk to make our local startups shine. So you give us something to look up to and believe in. It pushes us. Sometimes you don't see it maybe in your seat, but I can tell you we see it. And we thank you very much. We appreciate you. And I appreciate you too. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for helping us flip the script. Montreal will be the best. I wanted to say make Montreal great again, but I think people will knock me out afterwards. All right, thank you guys.